Thank you very much, Honourable Chairperson, Minister Lavrov, dear colleagues, ministers and deputy ministers and guests. I wish to begin, Chairperson, by saying to our colleagues that I believe that the world is at an important inflection point, which requires decisive leadership and fresh ideas. We in BRICS have a unique opportunity to shape a new, refreshed world order, and it is my sincere hope that we will not waste the moment. I would like to thank you, Chairperson, for hosting this BRICS Dialogue with a very distinguished list of developing countries. Our country, South Africa, maintains excellent relations with all these countries, and it's a great pleasure to meet them here today, and we believe that this meeting is a significant moment for BRICS. The BRICS bloc is a legitimate voice of the global South, insofar as global governance reform is concerned. We also remain a critical player in global agenda setting for economic, political, and social cooperation. The expansion of BRICS is evidence of the growing importance of our bloc and the critical role of our cooperation to collectively promote shared interests and values of emerging and developing countries. It also signals this expansion, our hunger for a body in the globe that embraces progressive ideals and seeks to alter the current nature of international relations to a more inclusive, equitable, and development-oriented world order. The current complex, divided global environment demands that BRICS continues to advocate for multilateralism in order to play a critical role in fostering world stability and cooperation in this time of geopolitical uncertainty. For us, our collective can only focus on the solution of multilateralism as the means to successfully address a wide range of global challenges, such as poverty, inequality, underdevelopment, climate change impacts, migration, human trafficking, terrorism, and food insecurity. And it is through our work that we may create an environment of sustainable peace and continuous development. South Africa is convinced that our mutually beneficial cooperation through BRICS will uplift communities instead of increasing their vulnerability. We all know that the world is falling short of achieving the development goals that it has set itself in the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. And this is largely related to increased economic risk for the most vulnerable and due to persistent low growth for many countries that have the greatest need. We have as BRICS to urgently accelerate our collective action to achieve the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. In this regard, our country is committed to ensuring a successful Summit of the Future, and we believe it might support efforts that bridge the development divide and provide solutions to the challenges we confront today. We as South Africa are preparing to assume the G20 presidency later this year, and we hope to build on the achievements of Brazil's chairship as well as on India's successful chairship in 2023. We believe the inclusion of the African Union as a member of the G20 during India's chairship provides a unique opportunity for South Africa to jointly champion Africa's Agenda 2063 within framework of G20. We remain, as South Africa, fully committed to fostering peace and strengthening multilateralism. We believe that the international community must be stopped from proclaiming the importance of international law and the importance of the UN Charter in some situations and not in others, as if the rule of law only applies to a select few. In this regard, With a significant portion of the world's population, of its GDP, of global trade and landmass, BRICS should continue to work ceaselessly to ensure that our voice is heard and that we speak for those who need our support. We will thus do everything that we can within our power to preserve the existence of the Palestinian people as a group and to end all acts of apartheid and genocide against the Palestinian people. South Africa welcomes the recent order by the International Court of Justice that Israel must halt its military action in Rafah, and we see the additional provisional measures of the court as a signal of decisive victory for international law and a significant milestone in the search for justice for the Palestinian people. Nonetheless, the injury to international human rights law inflicted by Israel remains significant. We therefore continue to call on the Office of the Prosecutor of the International Criminal Court to also act to ensure accountability for those committing war crimes. We believe that finding and agreeing on a realistic two-state solution would bring lasting peace and address the root causes of the ongoing conflict. A solution is long overdue, and an agreement must be negotiated speedily. The agreement must result in the establishment of an independent and viable Palestinian state based on 1967 borders, with East Jerusalem as the capital of Palestine. That these two must exist side by side in peace and security with Israel. Needless to say, we also reiterate our firm support for the full membership of Palestine as a member state of the United Nations, and we hope that all in BRICS would support this membership. Allow me to conclude by emphasizing the urgent need for BRICS to contribute to the reform of the UN Security Council. We have been dismayed at the inability of the Security Council to act and respond effectively to conflict situations such as that which has befallen Gaza. We further support the sentiment of an urgent call to reform. We call on all UN member states to support Africa's call for the historic injustice committed against the continent to be remedied through an acknowledgement of the role that we as Africa play in current global affairs. Delaying reform of the Council presents serious negative implications for the multilateral system and serves to undermine the credibility of the global peace and security architecture, and thus reverse the gains that were made in the past 78 years. Minister Lavrov, I wish to thank you and congratulate you on hosting a successful meeting of foreign ministers and on ensuring that we have an outreach meeting that signals the importance of the BRICS bloc and that sets us on a trajectory to play a role in building a stronger, a fairer, and more empowered multipolar world. I thank you, Minister.